Hundreds of New Orleans students rally against gun violence this morning, and a shooting in Baltimore leaves several dead. It's going to be a stormy weekend in the Crescent City. We'll have your forecast and more coming up. Students marched from the Superdome to City Hall to protest gun violence. Hundreds of New Orleans high schoolers are honoring the memory of Eleanor McMain student Chance Smith, who was shot and killed earlier this year. He was a freshman at the school.
It starts with us. Eventually we're going to grow up and this is going to be the place where we live, and it makes no sense to have violence every single day. We shouldn't have fear in our hearts every time we walk out of our houses.
Mayor Latoya Cantrell is putting together a student-led initiative to end gun violence. A shooting in Maryland leaves 3 people dead and 2 people wounded at a Rite Aid distribution center. A SWAT team had been dispatched earlier this morning. The shooter, who's female, is in custody and is in critical condition. Police say there are no longer any threats. 3 civilians were injured in a shooting that broke out in front of a courtroom in Masontown, Pennsylvania yesterday. The victims, 2 men and a woman, were released from the hospital today, according to officials. The gunman has been identified as 61-year-old Patrick Dowdle. He was shot and killed by a German Township police officer, and he was charged with strangulation, aggravated assault, and simple assault a few weeks ago. Chief David Ramada spoke about his officer's performance in the incident.
Basically, I'm just glad that, the officers are all okay. Everything turned out, it's unfortunate that someone lost their life, but I'm proud of my officer. I think everybody did what they were trained to do.
Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban is donating $10 million to women's advocacy groups now that an investigation has found a long history of sexual harassment among employees. The NBA said Wednesday that the investigation found numerous instances of sexual harassment and other inappropriate workplace conduct within the organization over more than 20 years. According to reports, the investigation found no evidence that Cuban, who's owned the team since 2000, was aware of former team president's actions of forcibly kissing female employees. In an interview with ESPN, Cuban said he is accountable for the Mavericks' workplace and culture. The EU's antitrust regulators have set their sights on Amazon. European Commissioner for Competition, Margaret Vestager, has announced on Wednesday that an investigation to find if Amazon is using data collected from third-party sellers to make decisions about which products to sell. With Amazon selling more and more of the same third-party products, the data may give the tech giant an unfair advantage. Vestager's office has sent several questionnaires out to market participants so they can learn more about Amazon's practices and how the company uses data. The investigation is only in a preliminary stage, according to Vestager. And the Saints are getting ready to take on the Atlanta Falcons this Sunday in the Superdome. After winning against the Cleveland Browns last week, the Saints are looking for another win, but both teams are playing with 3 starters injured. Catch the New Orleans Saints play the Atlanta Falcons this Sunday at noon. Coming up after the break, we'll have your weather headlines.
Maroon has been ranked as one of the top student newspapers in the nation by the Princeton Review.
It's going to be another hot and humid day in the Crescent City. It'll be partly cloudy with a 30 to 40% chance of rain with afternoon showers or thunderstorms. The high is going to be in the upper 80s to low 90s. On Friday, there will be a 50% chance of rain in the afternoon with highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. This weekend, it will have highs in the upper 80s and a 50% chance of afternoon showers. And that's all for now. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more news. Have a great day.